That's your god, mamma.
Meow, 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 meow.
Mamma, mamma, mamma.
A zibba dabba zuba.
A jibba jabba jua.
A zibba zigga zigga.
A binga bonga booga.
A wiggity wiggity wow wow.
Zibbity flip flop dibbity bo. Alright, you win.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel.
I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jon Hates Movies. This is the movie review podcast where my friends stop me from waging my never-ending war on crime and instead force me to watch movies. This week, we have with us Eric Largent,
Tally ho.
Chris Arsenault,
Tally ho.
Fuck you!
we have my brother James Barrup,
Tally-ho.
and last but not least, we have Mr. Colin McMillan.
You know, everybody's got their thing that they say when you introduce them. Well, everybody says tally ho.
I've got my thing.
Except me. Like, I don't have a thing, you know? I just don't feel like I fit in.
One of these things is not like the other. Oh, I'm sorry. We were supposed to encourage you there, weren't we?
No, we were supposed to bully him until he got really good at karate.
So on theme.
Remember, it's okay to push him down hills in which he might die.
Right.
It's
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's totally fine.
not weird.
So if you haven't gathered by our banter, this week marks the first in our series of Does It Still Hold Up? And our first selection is The Karate Kid.
Yeah!
But first, hey everyone, if you've ever wanted Jon Hates Movies to review your movie choice, all you have to do to get in on the action is go to our Facebook page, Jon Hates Movies, post your movie review suggestion, as well as the member that you want to play this week's game for you. If that member is selected as the winner, we'll be watching your movie suggestion. Thanks a bunch, folks, and keep on listening to Jon Hates Movies.
Oh, that's a pretty lame ad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy a damn thing from that company.
I know. Holy cow.
I'm going to check their stock on the NASDAQ real quick, guys.
It's just a toilet.
Okay, it's advertisement for the game. Anyway,
What game?
or for
You
the
can
playing at
like us
home.
on Facebook game.
Like the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that one.
The blue blue blue.
The blah, 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 blah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, Johnny was drinking margaritas. Now I'm on the beer.
Are you going to drop it on your pants like I did?
No.
Tell, don't show, isn't it, Eric?
Okay.
It's a podcast, Colin.
Oh, well, now you're just giving everything away.
God, James, they didn't know they could only listen.
That's right.
Man, this is the dullest video ever. It's
Well,
just black.
and 2 weeks ago, Devin thought that this was going up live.
I know.
That's true.
I got asked if it was live by somebody like the other day. I was trying to find a guest, and she was like, "Do you guys do it live?" I'm like, how would we even do that? No.
I tell people it's a smell cast as well.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Please place your earbuds up your nose now.
nice.
Still work. You'd be able to hear it. Amplified.
Whoa,
Your
yeah, that's
sinus
weird.
cavity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So The Karate Kid. Netflix. Yeah. Netflix gives this, 4 3/4 stars.
Totally unfair.
Seems high.
Totally unfair.
Wow.
Absolutely
Yeah.
unfair.
I'm actually
Pat
wondering whether or not that's
was,
my rating.
nominated for an Academy Award for this.
Oh, no.
Nominated.
I'm
not
worried that you
got.
guys have all seen this before and then watched it to see if it held up. I watched it for the first time and I think you guys are going a different direction from me.
Oh, well, it'll be
Well,
okay, Eric.
I'm not
John is definitely going in a different direction.
Yeah,
than me.
I'm definitely. I mean, for me, this is all about did this movie.
Yeah, trust
you know.
me. I'm pretty sure John was waxing off the whole time during this movie. Relevant.
For you folks at home, that means masturbating.
Yeah. The synopsis from Netflix is: when bullied teen Daniel LaRusso teams with a martial arts master, he ends up learning much more than just self-defense in this classic underdog tale. Starring Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, Elizabeth Shue, who I completely forgot was in this, and it was created by John G. Avildsen.
Good
Advilson.
pronunciation. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Advilson.
You really stuck the landing.
John G. Advilson.
John G.
A lot of people who went on to do nothing else.
Elizabeth Shue, just watching this movie, I looked on Wikipedia and because I was sure that she was way older than Ralph Macchio because she's way more developed than Ralph Macchio.
She definitely looks that way. But she's like 2 years younger.
Yes, she's 2 years younger than Ralph Macchio.
Yeah,
no way.
Ralph Macchio was like 25 when in the making of this movie.
He's
absurd.
21.
He was 21.
And
Yeah,
she was like 19.
yeah.
Absurd.
Ralph, you dog.
So Karate Kid! Yeah! So who wants to go first
I'm
this
totally
week? Who
going
wants to
first.
tell us the
I'm
story?
going to talk about this just because I got to do this. So what's the reason they're moving from New Jersey to like California?
Oh my God!
I got a job
Got a
over
computer
here.
job in
Computer
California.
job, right?
No.
Then like a quarter of the way through the movie, why is it that they're in California? Because she's got a great job where she could be a manager at a restaurant, and it's so much more opportunity than it could be she ever would have had with computers.
A woman working in computers in the 80s. Oh my God! I know. It's like if she stuck
Now
around.
keep in mind, she said she worked.
Okay,
She could very well have been selling them.
Yeah.
James, I don't know where James is going with that necessarily, but my thought was more that she keeps jumping from career path to career path,
Yeah.
and she's like super in denial about how fucked up things are actually. She's like, "Oh no, there's so many better opportunities.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good for us."
Okay, because
which is
she
really-
disappears halfway through the movie.
It's like, she completely disappears halfway through the movie and then pops up like not even at the beginning of the tournament, like
She just
halfway
shows up in
through.
the
She just
stands.
happens to be standing there next to Elizabeth Shue.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bizarre.
Did she say restaurant manager? I just thought she said management position.
It was a restaurant.
She
It
was
was
in a restaurant,
Yeah.
obviously
Oh,
working in a restaurant. But yeah, she said she'd be like in 2 months she'd be a manager and has
Also-
so many more opportunities than she would have had with computers.
That restaurant said Oriental Restaurant on the outside.
Did it
and
really?
when Ralph Macchio is eating food there, he's eating steak, green beans, and potatoes. at an Oriental food restaurant.
It was a Japanese cow, though.
It's that Kobe beef, son.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, Chris. I definitely get that. I'm hoping. I mean, I'm hoping that it was probably just the woman was trying to put a brave face on just how shitty
Oh yeah,
life was.
no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I just think it's like it seemed to me like really lazy ass writing though. I understand, yeah, nothing, she wants the better life. She wants to provide for her son.
Yeah.
Things aren't working out the way she wanted it to, but that's really impressive because she drove all the way out there, has a place, apparently had a job out there, and we don't really know what happened there, why she suddenly had another job.
Yeah.
But she was at another job. So I do applaud her
She was?
for maintaining.
Well, yeah, she got the restaurant job.
Right, whatever,
Yeah.
apparently. Long story short, she appeared to still have a job. So I applaud her for maintaining a job instead of, just going on, unemployment like a lazy bastard. But
No, she's a single mother that's like
Yeah.
taking care of Ralph Macchio.
that's what I'm saying. She's really working for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, even though she's
doing
never-
She works hard for the money.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
fine.
So you better treat her right,
I'm not
Chris.
arguing against her ability to be a good mother because she obviously,
No, she was a
financially
good mother.
is a good mother.
Well,
Wait,
I mean,
wait,
she
wait.
does
Hold
let
on,
him kind of
hold on.
hang out with
Is
a
this
weird.
because
great
she's
mother.
from New Jersey? That's what this is about, isn't it? This is because
New
you're
Jersey.
racist against New Jersey folk. That's your problem here, isn't it? Admit it.
Anywho,
Yeah.
No, she's always trying to put the positive spin on things, which, like I said, I approve. But like I said, that whole thing with the job, suddenly she's jumping jobs, but they give no background explanation to it.
Well, it's not the mom story, though.
I know. But here's the thing. They're trying to make it seem
giving
like
some context.
like Ralph Macchio's character is coming from this like broken home-ish thing, but like we already recognize that, single mother raising him. Yeah, understand that. That obviously they moved across the country for a job.
Their car's so broke the starter doesn't work.
Yeah, their 1970s station wagon is full-size station wagon is astonishingly a stick.
Right.
And has starter problems.
Well, they actually had those in the 80s.
Yes, but still, it's still kind of surprising. I mean, obviously it would have had to be like a 3 on the tree or something like that, but still, it's pretty uncommon even then.
I think I know why that dialogue's pushed in there. If I can add to what you're saying,
Sure, absolutely.
I think the point of that is sort of to support the way that Daniel and his mother communicate in all the scenes, because one of the things I noticed early on is that they have a really strong communicative relationship for like a single parent kid situation, and although
they're pretty tight.
Although I think what you're saying in terms of her, it makes her look kind of like she's jumping around jobs, and it sort of doesn't go like she could find a restaurant job in Jersey, But I think that that dialogue is just one more example of the fact that like they're really close.
Yeah,
which is uncharacteristic, and I won't go any further into that. You can have the mic back.
Can I snatch the mic for a little bit?
Well, Chris was doing his review.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, Chris got something completely different out of it than I did, because I feel like maybe this was, like, something that was, like, in an earlier draft that they kind of scratched, but still kept in the script because it wasn't too distracting. Like, there might have been a whole lot more about his mom and him because in the earlier drafts or something, but Chris got the impression that maybe she might have gotten fired, that she might be a hardworking person, but a constant fuck up.
No, I don't think she's a constant fuck up. I just
or at least a little bit spacey and kind of
Well, no, here's the thing. They bother throwing this dialogue in to give all this. Whatever job she drove all the way across the country for didn't pan out, so she's doing something else, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, I applaud her, like I said, for finding something else, but I really want to know what the hell happened there. I'm curious about that, and I wonder did she get fired? Did she quit? What the deal was that? That seems a little odd to me.
Because when I was watching the movie, the only thing I got was she left a job of computers in the 80s to work at a restaurant. That was like watching a movie in the past and hearing a person like say the line, "Don't worry, I pulled out all the stock from Apple and put it in Blockbuster Video. We'll be rich."
Well,
I was just so shell-shocked that I couldn't actually pay much attention.
For me, I didn't notice this at all because it had nothing to do with the movie.
Right.
That's my point.
Right
they
after
make such a show about that scene, and the only reason they bother to have that scene is so you can have the background, so he can go to the karate place. Then you can have that whole background nonsense of the kids like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm pushing.
I'm gonna go beat up his mom.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck does he think he's gonna do? He's gonna rush into this restaurant, smack his mom around, say, "Yeah, that's what you get."
Cobra Kai, motherfucker.
Exactly. All that aside. Your main bully is just such an exceptional douchebag. It's
right.
Exceptional.
Poster child for bullying for many years.
I love the whole thing, like the whole deal with the radio, right? No, come on. I just want to talk. Come on, man. No dude just wants to talk on a beach.
Yeah, usually I want to like swim.
Yeah.
Anyway,
honestly,
or ride
here's the thing,
bikes.
because I rewatched
do some karate.
1, 2, the next Karate Kid and the remake like about a year or so ago.
Oh, I saw the remake.
And so like I rewatched it yesterday just so I was a little fresh up on it, and the movie amuses me. Like I like it. I can watch it. It's really not a good movie.
The remake?
I'm like, no.
The original?
The original.
The one that we're talking about.
The one that we're talking about.
Oh, the one we're
like,
wow.
Wow.
Okay. Hot take. Hot take.
And here's the thing. And part of that is not necessarily because it's a bad movie as much as it's that even those teen drama movies have gotten such better quality in themselves that this just feels like a poor representation of it compared to stuff that they've developed later on. Granted, for the 80s, this is a much finer example than, well, most of the John Cusack movies that came out in the 80s.
What? What am I hearing? What is this nonsense that is coming out of my earphones?
Next week on Jon Hates Movies, we're watching Say Anything.
And Better Off Dead. And...
Anyway, but here's my point. I liked the movie. Like I said, I rewatched it like a year ago. I watched it yesterday.
Wait, 2 seconds ago you said it wasn't that great.
No, I did say it's not that great.
But he still
liked it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There's a difference.
I don't understand this.
Desperado wasn't that great, but we still liked it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the thing. Like, I will never go out of my way to say, oh, this is a fantastic example of acting, fantastic example of cinematography, fantastic example of dialogue, story. Or that's the other thing. Alvidson, the director.
Yeah.
You know what else he's known for?
What?
Rocky.
Damn right.
Isn't it fun? It's an underdog story,
Damn right.
and it stops as soon as the fight ends.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know how the second one picks up? The exact same point.
I know.
The end of Rocky 2 picks up at the end of the fight. Karate Kid 2 picks up at the end of the fight.
Huh.
Good research, Chris. That's some hard hitting shit.
That's not as hard hitting as Pat Morita fucking up Cobra Kai dojo and Karate Kid 2.
Dude, Karate Kid 2, the Cobra Kai dojo leader gets beat up by a car, like by car windows. He gets beat up by inanimate objects because Pat Morita is so slick.
Yep. No, the funniest thing, like, if you look online, you look at the description for Karate Kid 3, though, and it literally reads as something like...
fan fiction.
Well, it reads as Daniel and Miyagi-san and Miyagi run into what was it? Run into enemies from the first film. It literally says from the first film.
Wow!
In like the description on Netflix.
Nice.
Look it up. Seriously, it made me laugh so hard. I'm like, wow, they don't even have the presence of mind to like reference the Cobra Kai dudes or the blah blah blah. It's like, oh, from the first film, the one you actually watched. It's cool. Huh. That said, the remake with Jack Chan and Will Smith's son. Mm-hmm. I love Jack Chan in it.
Mm-hmm.
That is all.
Jaden.
Isn't
but no, Jack Chan.
Jaden.
Yeah,
Jack Chan.
Will Smith's son.
You don't want to talk about Jaden Smith at all?
Wait, okay. Will Smith adopted Jackie Chan?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. That's such
a...
Wow.
He's
the
a
Church
very
of Scientology
progressive
has
guy.
that kind of power.
Oh, no, Will Smith isn't a Scientologist, is he?
Yes,
he's like kind of very secretive about it.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They've wooed him hardcore, but he's never confirmed nor denied whether he's a part of the organization.
He probably just likes the social aspect, but doesn't believe a word of it, and knows they're all crazy. Because a lot of other trendy, famous people are Scientologists too.
What is a basic plot synopsis for 2 and 3? Because I thought 2 was just kind of... I thought
number 2, Miyagi and Daniel-san go to Okinawa because Miyagi's father is dying, I believe it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
3, they're protecting a sacred bonsai tree or something, right?
Miyagi like totally hooks up with like an old flame.
Crane kick doesn't work anymore.
Right, so he has to do the paddle.
The
swingy arm thing.
Swingy arm.
I honestly don't know what happens in the third one.
They're protecting a sacred bonsai tree or something weird like that.
Isn't that the one where like the big
was
corporate Cobra Kai guy is the bad guy? Yeah, I didn't get very far in that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've watched the third one in any recent history because, like I said, about a year ago I watched the first, second, the next Karate Kid, and then the remake.
And isn't the secret like paddle arm thing in the second one isn't that just the flailing his arms around?
Yes,
pretty much.
Man, terrible.
Wow, that sounds bad.
All right, so Chris, you got any more, or is we moving on?
I think I'm good.
All right.
I liked the movie.
Okay, Chris,
Wasn't
let me ask you
fantastic.
let me ask you the most important question. And does it hold up or not to your childhood?
I would say so. I mean,
He says yes.
once
says
again,
yes.
they're like what I said before. They're kind of points where it doesn't. Yes.
She chose
It holds up for the movie I expect it to be.
Okay.
So
All right.
saying that, but like I said, saying earlier, I feel that the underdog or teen drama stuff, they've done better ones nowadays.
Like in Rocky.
Thought Rocky won.
That was
wasn't
underdog story.
Yeah, I
and
love Rocky.
Rocky is
And-
a better
and a
movie,
teen
but it's
romance.
also from like 8 years prior.
Yeah, I thought Rocky was directed by Stallone himself.
It is directed by Stallone, but I believe it's like produced by Alvinson.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
It's theoretically
who's
written
next?
and directed by Stallone.
Yeah. And it's a great fucking movie.
Eric, you want to
I
go?
like Rocky.
Give your first impressions.
Yep. Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3,
No,
Rocky
not Rocky.
4,
We're not-
Rocky
Rocky 1 and all of
Balboa.
them.
There's Rocky 5, and then
I don't
Hey,
think there is.
Hey, I don't think there is either.
So I listened to all of the actual Rocky movies.
Yep. So
Are
who's
you looking
next?
it up? Yes, there's a Rocky 5. I
Colin
just
can
not.
go next. Colin can go next.
Oh, I think he wrote notes, dude.
I think Colin should go
I
next.
can go
gonna be
next
awesome.
if you really want.
yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Colin.
okay, cool. I did start taking some notes during the course of the movie, and then I stopped shortly into it because I just wanted to watch it.
Oh shit! Why didn't I go before you, Colin?
Oh no!
Yeah. You're stealing his shtick.
I did the exact same thing.
well,
Really? Making notes in the middle of it?
Okay, you know what?
Stealing whose shtick?
Why don't you guys both go at the
okay.
same time?
Right now,
Yeah.
go.
1, 2, 3.
No.
Go.
No, okay, no.
Go.
So one of the things I noticed in this movie is Ralph Macchio does this thing in a couple different scenes where he keeps talking after everyone else has left and says funny and endearing things, and some other famous person stole that and made it their thing, and I cannot think of who it was. The only thing I can think of is in Jurassic Park when Jeff Goldblum is sitting there going, and now I'm sitting here talking to myself, and that's chaos, But Ralph Macchio does this 2 or 3 times in this movie, and he does it with this Jersey accent over here, and it just cracks my shit
so
up. I
cute.
know, I love Ralph Macchio in this movie. I'm not going to be nearly as critical as Chris here. I have practically nothing but good things to say about Karate Kid. Spoilers. My second note is this movie has one of the best single-parent child dynamics I ever. I wish that I had Daniel's mom when I was a kid. Because, no, I'm serious.
Did you have a single parent,
Yes,
Colin?
I did.
Okay.
I had 2 single parents.
Well said. Well said.
Yes, I did. And I mean, I'm not going to sob story you. I love my whole family. But, I didn't have that kind of closeness with either of them when I was young. And I was watching it going, oh, man, look at they're such good people. And then I called the listening ear and said, I don't know how to relate to people.
There were a lot of personal Daniel family points in this movie that actually really clicked with me that I'm going to get into.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. And the listening ear was like, don't worry, just do coke.
I know
And then
everybody
Colin
that
did
works
coke.
at the listening ear. That's the truth.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Wow. I wanted to go
Is
work
that
there.
from Collins?
No.
Yeah, only jerks call the listening ear.
Hey, shout out to Alex at the listening
What
ear. She
up,
might listen
Alex?
to this. Yeah, she works for listening ear.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, good for
well,
her.
thanks for
It's all
listening.
volunteer time too, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So very good for her.
She doesn't make a single dollar, but she volunteers a lot of time with listening ear. Shout out.
So, great person, bad choice for a dating partner.
We've gone on 2 dates.
What? But I bet you
That's
paid.
true. You've gone on 2 dates. That's it.
And then she shut my shit down.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
man.
that was the disturbing moment he found out she worked at the listening.
Because he
I'm really down because this chick thought we were going somewhere.
Hey, Eric, what's up?
She's gonna pick up the phone and it's just gonna be Peter Gabriel on the other line. In your eyes,
light the heat.
Oh, all I could think of was Phil Collins songs. I couldn't.
Yeah, Phil Collins would be a good choice too.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually remember that dude's name, like right at the cusp of where the joke would have been funny.
Oh, I know.
Oh my god, oh, that was close.
Well, we really dodged a bullet there, folks.
Tonight, forever's gonna start tonight.
Okay. Sorry.
Really? Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't.
Okay, let's do
Not
it.
a good time for that.
We're done, Colin.
Okay.
We're done.
Hey, I really enjoyed that.
I'm just glad my review wasn't nearly as hijacked as this.
I'm kind of surprised I managed to top you because it felt pretty hijacked. That's all right though. My third and final note before I just riff is I've written Machio has so much pluck you can't even believe it. Which I think is true because Daniel is and he's a plucky kid, and I don't even really know the meaning of the word plucky, but Daniel is plucky.
Yes.
And I don't know. Daniel's an interesting kid because he takes karate at the Y for like 3 months and then is practicing out of a book. So you gotta just assume that he's pretty bad at it. And yet, no, really, like nobody takes martial arts for 3 months and then is a master, despite what happens later in the movie.
Martial arts doesn't seem like the kind of thing you can learn from a book.
No, you really need a teacher. And yet, before he trains with Mr. Miyagi, he manages to punch 2 Cobra guys right in the face. Like,
so.
That's pluck. That's the power of pluck.
That's
man.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
sometimes you're lucky.
What a little scrapper.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, Johnny Lawrence
I would
might have put him
assume
in the
that it's
sand.
hubris. I would assume it's hubris on their side rather than skill on his side.
Maybe. Also, he's got those flailing little arms. You can't really see where they're coming from. You know, it's like fighting a noodle. You know, so. But like I don't know. I spent this whole movie just rooting for Daniel, even though I know that he doesn't. You know that he just gets his shit wrecked for most of it. And yet he does this thing which sort of confuses me, where he keeps inciting them. You know, like he's like, "Oh man, oh my, these guys at school they keep beating my ass, and all I do is constantly prank on them." You know, he
doesn't want to take the shit.
Yeah, he's doing it Jersey style. You know, and you know, but. Yeah, I also think the other side of Daniel, when when he's having a hard time, I think Ralph Macchio does a really good job in those scenes where he's really upset, and like he gives a little tearful speech where he talks about how he doesn't know the rules here, and like
that was probably one of the best lines in the whole movie.
It's a great line.
Because where it's not that he's necessarily upset that these guys are being dicks. He's like he doesn't get what the hell.
He doesn't know what's happening here. Like and
because like the kid smacks him and he smacks him back and he says, "Hey, we're even." You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Like that's where he comes from in Jersey. It's like you somebody gets in your face and you slap them around a little bit and they slap you and then you shake hands and you're all right the next day. You know.
Yep.
But like
not these Cobra Kai California kids.
No, they throw you in the sand and kick you in the in the chest. Like they'll
knock you down a hill.
Then drive over radio.
Yeah, they'll be driving
a bunch
over
of assholes.
shit. These guys are dicks. You know.
And then you take the Charles Atlas course, and
but then it's you've got the other things that he doesn't get too, and I think like Elizabeth Shue's kind of part of this. This whole problem with him because there's this girl that he's already been told, like, hey, don't bother with that girl. She's out of your league. Her ex-boyfriend is a fucking psycho that it's been proven he will beat your ass and run over your radio with a bike. And she just keeps chasing after him, which is, awesome on her part, very progressive. But, like, what the hell is he supposed to do with that? Because he's like, I'm tired of getting picked on, but the girl I like, when... she won't leave him alone.
Pretty much the reason he's getting picked on.
Right, the reason he's getting picked on is this girl, and she won't leave him alone. And he doesn't want her to leave him alone, but he doesn't want to get his ass beat anymore. I don't know. I really think that Macchio does a spectacular job. And I guess learning that he's older than I thought in this movie makes a little bit more sense, because for a kid, this would be a stellar acting performance. For an actual young adult, it makes a lot more sense that he's able to communicate these ideas.
He looks like a kid, though. His arms are toothpick thin.
He seriously looks like he's 13, and he's so little. You could...
Like, he does. He looks prepubescent.
He does, and yet, like, when you watch a lot of the scenes, it still feels like he has a solid presence on the screen.
And the best one is when they're on the boat. And in my opinion, the best one is when they're on the boat, and they're talking about why learn karate, and he says, so I don't have to fight. And there's like this moment where he's just when he says that, it's like, oh shit, he's a man, and then he goes back to being a boy. You know, which is also a nice little nuance that the Karate Kid possesses, which is non-existent in the remake, because they lowered the kid's age. Like Jaden Smith is like 10 in that movie or whatever. They made the kids really young.
8.
Holy shit!
He's not that young.
But I mean, these look like 10-year-olds in the new one, and everybody does. So to compare the remake to the original, I think that journey to adulthood that's happening in the original Karate Kid is a very valuable part of the story, especially because looking at Johnny Lawrence versus Daniel LaRusso, they look, Johnny looks like a person about to become a man, and Daniel looks like he's 13.
Right, yeah. There's definitely one of those things where it kind of, in a weird sort of way, makes the bullying worse. Because there's
such an extreme physical difference between the two of them. And the bullying thing is interesting. I didn't notice last time I watched this movie, but Johnny Lawrence, although, I mean, he is the poster child for bullying for, now 30 years, he's actually a little bit more developed than I remember him being last time. When he first shows up, and they're...
Well, he's like wiry.
No, I mean, developed as a character.
Character-wise.
Oh, okay. No,
he's more built than I remember him physically. But, because when he first shows up, they talk about, what they're doing, and, like, they want to get into trouble, and he talks about how he wants to do it right now. Like, there's a part of Johnny Lawrence that doesn't want to be a shit. He's just immersed in this culture of aggression and judgment. You get that at the country club, that he's raised in this judgmental kind of family. He's on the rich side of the tracks. And then at the Cobra Kai, they just reinforce the aggression and everything. And, like, there's probably a good kid in Johnny Lawrence somewhere. He's just immersed in a destructive environment.
Which is shown at the end when he hands the trophy.
You're damn right he does.
Daniel. Though that other kid,
he's crying.
That other kid is probably, way better, because, he's asking for forgiveness after he fucks Daniel up.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great scene too.
Oh yeah,
where
that is a great scene
where he's just pleading
I'm so
with
sorry,
him,
He's down on the ground with him, and he's like, I'm sorry.
He knows he was wrong, but he did it because he was told to, because an adult.
And isn't that valuable to the storytelling? Is the Cobra Kai kids in the end? They know that
they're not bad people.
No, they're not.
Just,
they're being programmed to be bad.
Their sensei is a complete ass.
Mm-hmm.
He's the problem.
The sensei is a sociopath. Yes.
Yeah.
And in the role of sensei, he's sort of like a surrogate father figure. So they are taught to, and it's expected that they'll look up to him and that he'll know what to do.
I mean, Daniel-san absolutely found a father figure in Miyagi-san,
without a doubt.
Oh,
without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yep.
So yeah, the Cobra Kai kids almost become sympathetic at the end.
This movie has layers.
It does.
There's a lot. There's a lot Karate Kid has to offer.
Yeah.
I think that that's about all I've got.
Okay.
So, do you want to take it away, Eric?
Yeah, I do, because I was doing a kind of a similar thing to Colin.
Wait, before we move on, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. It does stand up. I think it's still a fucking great movie.
Yes.
Okay, so guys,
Yeah.
I got some zany jokes for you.
Oh boy!
Woo! I love zany jokes.
Bring on the zany
that are gonna knock you off your feet.
Boing.
Good thing I'm sitting.
Consider me prone.
Aye.
All right. So my first note from the movie is when Ralph Macchio is on the beach and he sees Elizabeth Shue, And I'm like, wow, Macho is just staring a hole through this girl's head. Like, he just is eyeballing the shit out of her.
Yeah,
then the oh shit punks from when Cobra Kai rolls in on their
dirt bikes.
On the dirt bikes. Those Cobra Kai dudes are pretty badass. Next note. No idea why Macho was fucking with those guys. What a nerd. Next note. Seriously, I can barely understand a word from this Daniel kid. Next note. Look, Daniel, tripping happens in soccer. It's no need to overreact, freak. Next note. I'll take famous Chinaman for 200, Alex. Who is Pat Morita? Does anyone else know the Celebrity Jeopardy when Burt Reynolds just shows up and says that? Nobody else knows that.
Yeah, I do.
That's a reference that's lost on everyone.
It was like the seventh one or whatever they'd done long after Norm Macdonald had left the show, and then he just showed up.
Yes, Norm Macdonald just showed up. He goes, "Yeah, Alex, I'll take famous Chinaman for 200. Who is Pat Morita?" Okay. Next note. Hey, Allie with an I, because she said that a couple times. Allie with an I. Hey, Allie with an I. You're coming on pretty strong. Next note. Fuck, these Cobra Kai dudes are cool. Next note. Not cool, Daniel. Always harshing everyone's buzz. Like that's when Daniel, the guy was rolling a J in the bathroom.
Yeah, okay. It's just me, or does he have the worst technique?
I wouldn't know, Christopher.
I'm just saying. It's like he was trying to screw a pen together is what it looked like.
You know what? I don't know because I don't eat drugs.
Okay, next note. That Cobra Kai sensei should give Miyagi the old 1-2.
Knock that old fucker out.
Next note. I didn't understand that karate grape analogy at all. Like, Miyagi makes, like, some comparison to grapes.
You on
squashing
the right
grapes.
side, you okay. You on the left side, you okay. You in the middle, you get crushed like grape. You didn't understand that? How do you not? How do you not understand that?
I didn't get it at all.
It's perfectly clear.
Okay, next note.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
he's
explanation is because Daniel's always sure whatever. It's because he's wishy-washy. He's saying nothing's ever going to happen. You make a choice here, you make a choice here. You're fine. You
do or do not. There is no try.
Okay, Yoda.
Okay. Now I get it. Say it like Yoda, and I get it.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Who's the nerd now?
Next note. Next note. And
I can hear Cobra Kai coming down, busting your ass.
Next note. And here's where things started to turn for me. Push start the shitmobile. Daniel's out there, push starting the car. And last note, because like Colin, halfway through the movie, I stopped taking notes. At this rate, Daniel-san will only win a match of garden maintenance.
He would be pretty good at that.
So right about when Daniel-san picked up his girlfriend for the date and had to push start the car, it took me back to that time when I was in like middle school. I was like 14, and at like 4 a.m, my dad came up to my bedroom and woke me up and was like, "Hey Eric, I need you to come downstairs." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Hey, my car won't start. I need you to push it." So it was the middle of the wintertime. I was in my boxers. I put on my jacket and some boots and just had my boxers on, and for the next half hour pushed my dad's car up and down the street until he could get it started. And I was like, wow, Daniel-san was poor growing up, just like me.
Oh man, is this another? Are we going into another "My Trucker Dad is so cool" segment?
Yes,
sweet.
Because
you know how poor you are. You know you're poor growing up if you ever had to push start your parents' car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like you're there.
Yeah. And then the next thing that happened, like, so I'm taking notes and I'm like, haha, I'm taking this whole tack where like I'm gonna root for the Cobra Kai, like I'm gonna make jokes because the Cobra Kai is so fucking cool. Right. And Daniel's a nerd, and like this is gonna be
sure you've never watched How I Met Your Mother?
I've never watched that or this movie before.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
But I was like, this is gonna be my shtick for this week. I'm gonna think Daniel's a nerd and Cobra Kai is so fucking cool. But then Daniel-san and Miyagi-san are out fishing, and I was like, oh shit. Me and my dad go fishing all the time, and it looks just like that. and then all of a sudden, this movie like started hitting home for me, and then I was,
and then from there on, Eric's just bawling.
Well, no, from there on, I'm like I'm starting to like appreciate all of the like good things that this movie is doing,
right?
Like really, like every character, maybe other than Daniel's mom, but she like. The thing that's developed about her is you understand that she has a great relationship with her son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But all the other characters are really well developed. Like they don't leave like people hanging in this movie.
Yeah.
No.
Even Allie's friends eventually get some lines that aren't just like shitty preppy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have to.
It's like,
hey, bitch.
Oh shit.
Hey, basic bitch.
So I stopped taking notes and I just started watching the movie, and I'd never seen the movie before. Karate Kid is a great movie. Like with GREAT, all-time great movie. This is a great movie.
Excellent.
Like it holds up perfectly. Like the 80s, like movies that happened in the 80s look like they happened in the 80s because the 80s was such a unique time. But this movie exists correctly outside of the 80s.
It sounds like it happened in the 80s, too.
This isn't a product of the 80s. It just happened during the 80s.
Yeah.
There was a great montage. A great montage.
Yep. Perfect.
You know, Daniel-san getting the shit kicked out of him. Or another thing I really appreciated when they showed up to the karate tournament. Like nobody really like Miyagi doesn't. You know, he just like entered Daniel into the
tournament.
Yeah, into the tournament. But like they don't really know what's going on. They just like showed up, and he's like, "Oh shit, 5 minutes until you fight." And Daniel's like, "Okay, well I guess I'm ready to fight."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The whole part where Daniel shows up at Miyagi's when Miyagi is drunk and like celebrating his his wife and his son is
nice little.
That's an incredible
little nod to the internment camp era. Which
I want to actually talk about that. I'm gonna hijack this for a second here.
Yeah, go ahead.
First off, I like many other people, I love this movie, and I loved it when I was a kid. It was a huge thing. When I was a kid, though, I never caught on to any of that. I just saw, I was like, dead wife, okay. But now watching it now.
More than dead wife.
Yeah, Miyagi
it's an
and his
camp.
Because
he's from Okinawa, not even really Japan.
Yeah.
Like, I know Okinawa was like a Japanese protectorate during that era.
Yeah.
But like... Yeah.
And he was a soldier.
He's not Japanese.
And he's a soldier in the U.S. military.
Yeah.
He won the Medal of Honor.
Camp, which is fucked up.
While he was fighting.
He won the Medal of Honor while he was fighting. His family gets put into an internment camp. Because of the like poor health care, his wife dies from childbirth complications. Yeah. In the internment camp.
Yes.
I never got any of that when I saw this the first time.
And other than this one day a year, he doesn't like carry it around. Like he's not played like a tragic character outside of this one scene.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's a characteristic of many men from that era, though. Like they don't like a lot of Vietnam and World War II veterans don't carry around the fact that they're veterans. Mm-hmm. Like it's not something that like they don't feel a sense of entitlement because of being a veteran. And my dad's a veteran, and he has never mentioned being a veteran to anyone because he doesn't feel that like absurd sense of entitlement.
Well, you're also from like a time when it wasn't really something that the nation was very proud of.
That's true.
So,
Well,
you know.
World War II, yes. Vietnam,
Well, World
not
War
so
II,
much.
but I mean,
It is.
But
Korean War and Vietnam.
you compare that to the new Karate Kid, where it was a car accident.
Right.
Because he was
And
Like they didn't go
like
there.
I completely forgot about it in this movie, and then in the new Karate Kid, where it was a car accident. Like I thought that part was just added in, and I didn't realize that they were actually trying to tie similar themes together.
Yep.
Because I always thought that part in the new Karate Kid was kind of pointless and useless and didn't necessarily need to be there. But
I don't know, I thought
in
it
the
was
first
amusing
Karate
that he,
Kid,
like,
in the first Karate Kid, it
destroys
works.
the car and rebuilds it.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah,
like
the first one, it
like I
works
said,
great.
when we were watching the new Karate Kid, I just don't understand why Jackie Chan didn't collect the Dragon Balls and wish them back.
It's terrible.
I'm so glad
Did
no
you
one
just
responded to
hold
that.
for laughter?
I didn't get
Did
it
you?
at all. I haven't seen that
James
or
held
Dragon
for
Ball
laughter.
Z.
You
Yeah.
held for laughter.
I held for editing.
So we could add
anyway,
the laughter after.
I'm going to
Oh my
carry
God.
on with the rest of my
Yes.
review.
Yes, go
do
ahead,
it.
Eric, please.
Before James can get in any more of those. So there were a lot of things that started hitting home. Like when Daniel's mom had to pick up Daniel and the girl and take them on the date, and like she was just hanging out while they were on the date. Like I had to do that. Like I remember like the school I went to for most of high school was a private school, but I was by far the poorest person at the private school. So like I had to deal with that whole part of it that Daniel had to deal with, going to the country club and that kind of stuff, and like not knowing what to wear. And yeah, like a lot of like little bits of this movie like really hit home, and it was delivered really well. This is a great movie. And that's all I have to say.
All right, James, you got something for us today?
Yeah, I don't really know what any of you guys are talking about because like
Talk about the Karate
I don't know
Kid.
the one that I watched it, and
The one with Hilary Swank.
you guys don't mention anything about Miyagi's niece, and Daniel doesn't like run around as a whiny little kid with his shirt off all the time. And
Did you watch the animated show?
this wasn't an animated movie.
Ha 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 ha. Very
Hold
funny.
for laughter.
Okay, by the way, the reason, James, this is actually kind of interesting. I'm glad you did bring this up, James.
Because
if you
Miyagi
search
fucks
for
a crocodile if you watch it.
I actually did not watch the cartoon, so I hope that's not true. But
They're
if
in
you actually
South America, and they're trying to touch this magical mini pagoda that has magical powers, and everybody speaks in Pidgin English and Pidgin English, and and the bad guy is this big muscly guy that wears a cat, and it is just incredibly ridiculous.
You watched?
Yes, I did. It actually
but not in place of.
No.
Okay.
I watched them both.
At the same time.
Anyway, if you're curious about what James is talking about, you're more than welcome to take a look on Netflix, because when you pull up the Karate Kid, it doesn't just pull up the Karate Kid. It pulls up the Karate Kid, the animated series, which looks really choice. And based on what James was telling us, it probably is. So, James, would you like to give your real review now?
No. All right. I'll
He
do
spent
it.
too much time on the joke, he forgot to prepare a review.
A lot of the stuff that I was going to say has been said already. I remember watching this movie, like, I want to say possibly in the theaters or in some sort of drive-in when I was really young, and barely remembering it, but I never actually had to rent this movie to watch it again because they were always playing it on TV. And so I remember watching bits and pieces of it, but like never actually like catching the full thing. So it was kind of like a serious review watching this lately. But I remember Daniel looking like larger than he was, but no, he's skinny.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
Yeah.
You little baby.
And despite the fact that he's like really skinny and nerdy and well, I mean like really skinny and like young and
Yes.
short and everything like that, he's actually really charming in this movie. Like, and they wrote his lines charming.
Oh yeah,
Like
He's a good kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the 80 movies that you go back and you watch, you're like, oh, this guy was cool and funny. Like, he's telling dad jokes now. Like, you'd watch it now and he's like, oh, hey, hungry, I'm Paul. And stuff. Like, I'm so hungry. Hey, hungry, I'm Paul.
Or they're just like total douches, like characters that are in fact not cool.
Yeah. Hey, he's so uptight you could stick a piece of coal up his ass and he'd shit out a diamond.
The fuck are you talking?
Dad jokes.
Okay.
He's talking about Dan Aykroyd from Great Outdoors.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes. So,
Hey James, do you know why 6 is afraid of 7?
Because 6 was a fucking murderer. 6 killed my dad, you bastard!
Because 6 was on the
Because
lamb.
7, 8, 9, James.
6 was on the lamb, and 7 knew his real identity.
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
It was the one-arm number.
Dad jokes for the rest of the night.
Oh, no.
Finally, a place where I fit in.
That's what she said.
So,
I heard that comment.
despite the score being very dated, I was surprised that there actually was 2 solid hits out of this movie, musical-wise. There was Blue Summer, which you can hear if you hang around Abe Meyer for like an hour or 2.
Summer.
Was it Cruel Summer?
It's a cruel.
I don't know.
It's a cruel
No.
summer.
It's a blue.
Summer.
It's a blue summer.
It's a blue light special.
I hear do. Anyway, and of course the best around. Yeah. Was best around also used in Rocky?
No.
No, it was supposed to be used for Rocky. But
Oh, okay.
the lyrics, the part about winning the girl or something like that, Stallone didn't like, so he pushed it off to the side, and instead they
Use it for Karate Kid. I love how they intro that song in this movie by Elizabeth Shue going, "Yeah, Daniel,
Oh my God,
the
Daniel,
best.
you're the best!
And then it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around.
Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best.
Around.
I was rocking out during that part for real.
Yeah.
This movie didn't just have one montage; it had 2, maybe 3 if like you count down the beatdown montages. I remember
When he's doing his like kick, when he's doing his kick dances out on the bay, right?
Yeah.
Montage for
Yep.
that.
very tasteful montage, like incredibly tasteful montage. That's like honestly probably peak montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
they start getting symphonic.
yeah, like they move away from the synthesizer and actually go to a real score, which is what a lot of 80s and 90s movies should have done.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that scene actually like felt really like
moving.
Yeah, it felt really good just because of how they changed
Was
the
that-
score up
yeah.
for when he's like looking at the water.
It was real
Or
classy.
like when you just see a silhouette doing the kata on the boat,
Right.
over the
Yep.
water, and the sun's reflecting over the water. I really hope that was Ralph Macchio, because whoever was doing that was fucking sweet.
He was
Yeah.
waxing off.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
sanding
man.
the deck. He was painting the
He
fence.
was painting the fence. He
Yeah.
was doing it all, man.
Yeah. So I will say this about this and the new Karate Kid is that this movie is a little slow at first, and I think that the new Karate Kid's pacing was like a little better, it moved a little faster for my taste.
I would say, so I haven't seen it, but I would guess that's just more modern. Like in
Yeah.
84, 30 years ago, pacing could be slower.
Yeah.
You know, if I can jump in for a second in the comparison department, one of the things that I like better about the old one too is like the kid, Jaden Smith in the new one, he's kind of a little shit. But
Yeah.
Daniel is a good kid from the start.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's true.
Jaden needs to be whipped into shape.
I'll say this: the fight, the gang fight between Miyagi and the
Cobra Kai?
I'll just say the bad guys, because in the new Karate Kid, Cobra Kai's not in it.
All right.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
talking about a new one.
the modern one was much better because it's Jackie Chan, much
Right,
better
you can actually
choreographed and
move.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
And-
that's what took me out of it a little bit too.
you can tell some of
Miyagi,
those
like,
punches were
man.
like weak
And
and
Miyagi's,
not
like, struggling
connecting.
for speed.
Bullshit. Pat Morita karate chopped beer bottles in half.
Yep.
I did see that.
Boom!
I saw
That's
it.
not what I
That
was
was
saying.
one
I
of
was saying
the
that
They didn't
in
have
that
special
scene it
effects
wasn't
30
very
years ago.
good.
Wow, how'd you do that? I don't know. Never done it before.
That was awesome though. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I like that.
Explanation.
I guess who was the guy that did like Master Cook and Kung Fu Hustle and all that?
Oh, Stephen Chow.
Stephen Chow, yeah. Like kung fu movies and sports movies go together really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this was probably like the first American movie to actually get that. To be like, oh hey, if we combine these two genres, we get a really good movie. You know, and it's done really well. The end karate fights, I liked. Okay, they weren't really choreographed. They didn't look choreographed, but they looked real. Like that's the way a real karate fight looks in real life, you know. And the other thing is that because Daniel is so thin and short in this movie, he looks like jittery
Yeah.
in
Oh,
those
yeah.
fights, like
Yeah.
really jittery. He doesn't
Well,
look like
his
confident
stance.
or like energetic.
His entire
just
stance
looks
looks
scared
like
shitless.
Yeah.
and it looks like he's putting way more effort into holding the specific stance
Yeah.
and actually trying to present some sort of defense.
He doesn't look balanced at all.
Yeah.
Can I just point out how much I absolutely appreciate the fact that during the preliminary fights, it was like Daniel hits him and then hits him and then hits him and it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I hate when they try and do that, building false tension by having a 1-for-1 thing.
hmm Well, I also there's another strength of the movie is the fact that they did a tournament where they're playing for points instead of like just ass beating.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And this is another thing, a difference in new versus old. In the new one, the last fight when he does the secret move that the sort of signature move of the movie, the equivalent of the crane kick,
Yeah.
he just like wastes that kid. You know. In this one though, even when he does the crane kick, he just gets the last point. He just pops Johnny like in
Right.
the chest.
I'll say this: watching it again, the stance for the crane kick that he does, he looks really dumb when he's in the stance, like really dumb.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But
he
then
kicks the guy right in the
that
face.
kick in that face is still awesome.
Oh man.
Yep, yeah.
That kick to the face is great.
Yeah, it looks fucking real.
Yeah.
Looks really fucking real.
Like, yeah, it really does. Like, they framed it brilliantly because it looks as real as, like, Enter the Dragon shit. You know?
Well, when he
Not as
elbows
impressive.
Johnny in the face when he's down on the mat, like it looks like he destroys him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Johnny did all of his own fighting. I don't think
Yeah.
that he's the stuntman. I think that's really the guy.
So, the bad guys, lots of overacting,
Mhm.
but didn't necessarily ruin the movie. It was just a layer of cheese.
Yeah, I have to admit, for
And they were cookie cutter characters.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but even
like
so,
the
Well, for the
cackling
most part.
goofball
for being
henchman
from
bad
the
guy.
80s, like the bad
Yeah.
guys were not just like way overly done cheese.
Oh yeah,
they
they've
were
certainly
still
done worse.
entirely believable.
They weren't like Biff and
Right.
his boys.
I think this movie is solely responsible for me having the dream that I will one day that I should own a classic car right now.
hmm
Because he gets like an amazing car for fuck all.
He earned
He
it
did
with
some work.
spirit.
He did some work.
Okay, the last thing I will but like a fucking painting a fence, sanding down a thing, planting some shit. If that's all it takes to get a really good classic
No.
car, I will
Became-
fucking do it.
Became Miyagi's friend.
He did all those things, and it took him a long time before he was like, "Why am I doing this shit?" Like
Yeah.
it actually took him a while before he's like, "What's the point of this?"
Okay,
Like
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
after
he
his third
stuck
test.
to it. He
Yeah,
stuck
he
to
did.
that
Yeah.
bullshit.
He did a great
before
job of sticking
kind
to
of,
it.
like, this is fucking stupid. Why am I doing this?
And that
Also-
brings me to my final point of my review. The wax on, wax off, sand on, sand off, all that shit would have never have fucking worked in a practical sense. he wouldn't have learned karate or proper form because
No,
3 or 4
he's
times
building muscle strength.
Yeah, and muscle memory.
But
No,
his
that's-
form would have been all fucked.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
that's
I
why you
disagree,
say that, but
James.
I
Miyagi
disagree.
actually stops and interrupts him and shows him how exactly the way he wants it. Because he's
Yeah,
like
but
doing
he
back
fucks
and
off.
forth, just
I mean,
sliding back and
obviously
forth,
they don't
and
show
then he
the.
shows him do the circles and whatnot.
Yeah, they don't
I
show the
agree.
entire
What's
10 times.
likely
but,
to happen is he's probably going to learn bad form from getting lazy about it.
Yeah,
I believe that, especially since he had no idea ahead of time
yeah,
that that's what he's supposed to be doing.
yeah.
But still,
The scene after
I like
is
the
cool as
gimmick.
shit.
The
Yeah.
gimmick is the best part because, like, oh, he totally thought he was just being dicked around this whole time, but he was learning karate, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Which for
Makes
the
for a
next
great
30
scene.
years probably tricked a lot of dumbasses into doing stupid shit.
Hey, it tricked me.
Cool.
I wonder what mowing the lawn taught me.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, man, we were all when this movie came out, and we were all young. We all thought we could learn karate from chores. It's not.
From
Yeah,
washing
that
the
was a
car.
thing.
Yep.
That was a
The
thing.
fence.
So,
Will this teach me kung fu? Will this teach me kung fu?
yeah.
Yes.
The reveal is awesome.
Very good film.
So, and anybody can become a karate kid if you got, like, yeah.
No, like
If you got
what if you're not
financial
a kid
aid, you
anymore?
can actually go to Shaolin and actually pay to take Shaolin
no,
classes.
it's
Oh,
like what
man.
Colin said. It takes a bit of pluck to become
We're
a
gonna
karate
get
kid.
letters.
Yeah.
It takes a
Yep.
bit of pluck.
You-
Daniel San was a little.
Oh, wait,
special.
are you telling me that because
Daniel
of
San.
the outrage from what we're saying, we're going to reinvigorate the ancient form of writing a letter?
No. All the kids at home are gonna listen, and they're gonna be like, "Mom, I don't want to go to college. I'm gonna go to the Shaolin Temple because Jon Hates Movies said I can."
I don't want you listening to that Jon Hates Movies anymore.
Those young men are a bad influence on you.
well, they're not wrong.
And remember, kids, don't listen.
Okay. So I'm gonna wrap it up
Yeah.
here because
Always wrap it up. That's just
well,
good stuff.
actually,
Don't be a fool.
James,
Yeah.
what do you think? Did it hold up for you? I mean, is this a movie that holds up?
Not really.
Oh, we got our first not really. Okay.
Wait, did Chris say that it did hold up?
I said it held up as an 80s movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of in the same boat as Chris.
You don't need to qualify that shit.
Look, this was the first time I had ever seen this movie, and I fucking loved it. This
Yeah.
was
Oh,
an
it's
awesome
great.
movie.
This is
never
a
said it wasn't an
fantastic
enjoyable movie. I'm just saying it's not a good movie.
John, I get the impression that you loved it as well.
I love this film. It's not Rocky, which is for me my go-to.
You take
I like
that back.
Yeah, they're both Italian. Both
It is
underdogs.
Rocky, you big fuck.
But I mean, this movie is absolutely fantastic. This movie has so many layers that I didn't even notice, and there's so much about it that I just like straight up appreciate that you just can't get. And this movie's great. It has lots of depth. It has great characters. I honestly think we've done a really good job at presenting this movie to our public. So I mean, literally, if you're sitting here and you're listening to this podcast, when you're done with this podcast, I'm putting a moral imperative on you right now.
Oh.
You are going to stop listening to this podcast. Once we're
Full stop.
But please tune in
Full
next
stop.
week.
No, you're good.
Don't stop
don't
permanently.
don't stop forever, and don't stop
Oh, man.
right now.
And don't
Wait
stop
for us to.
believing.
Yeah, we still got a couple of jokes,
Don't
but
stop thinking
after-
about tomorrow.
after we're done, I want you to fire up Netflix and I want you to watch The Karate Kid because you are in for a fantastic 1 hour and 45 minutes.
2 hours and
of-
6 minutes.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long, yeah.
I didn't even notice. That's how good this movie
Yeah,
is.
this movie's great.
All right. So, you know what? I think it's time for the game.
The game.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, and Colin's little mini fan club.
It's getting minier by the day.
Colin has graciously decided to give Ryan Hafer, our only contributor to the Jon Hates Movies Play at Home Facebook like-a-thon.
Ryan, you're my boy!
Colin has graciously decided to play for him again. Same movie.
Again? Fuck you, I played for him last time.
Yeah, and now
That's
Colin's
right.
playing for him
I'm
this
playing
time.
for Bill
Yeah,
instead.
but now he's going to be backed by a winner.
Wow! Wowie wow!
Wow, wow, we was.
Whammy blammy wowie zowie!
Right. So, that being said, you guys ready for the game? Because this one's going to be a really challenging one.
Apparently, I wasn't supposed to listen to the song before playing the game, so okay.
That's right.
What's going on
There's
here?
a reason for that. There's a reason I told you not to listen to that song. Because what you guys are going to do is you guys, from memory,
Nope.
no internet aids,
Nope.
please. At all, please, because I will know if you're cheating. But you guys are going to go through You're the Best Around, and the person who is the most accurate with the non-chorus
Oh,
lyrics
God.
is going to win this week's game.
Well, Colin's gonna win because I have no fucking clue how the verses go.
That's okay. Just
Don't be too confident in me. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Ryan, I'm
So who's-
sorry that Colin's an idiot.
so who's going to go first?
I'm just gonna fearlessly go for it here, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Start off with like that. Gotta believe you can do some stuff. Gotta karate somebody in the face. I don't know what other words go, but yeah, this is the place. Trying hard to do some stuff, but you don't know the words. You're singing on a podcast and you're feeling like a turd. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best around, etc.
Were you like doing like an echo effect or some shit?
I don't know. No, I can't do that with my voice. I don't know. So, that's all I got.
Colin got one word right. He's in the lead.
I know believe is in there and man somewhere.
Okay. I have no fucking clue how the verse goes, so I'm gonna sing the verse to another song for the verse, and then rip into the chorus. Shout out to my boy Jables and my boy Rage Cage. This one goes out to Tenacious D. To be the best, you gotta pass the test. You gotta climb all the way to the top of the mountain. 'Cause you're simply the best. You're the best.
Oh man.
Right now, Eric, you're tied because you both got one word right, but I'm leaning towards Colin because he did at least get the measures
I have no
right.
fucking clue how the melody goes.
Okay,
I know Chris has no fucking clue how this goes.
Okay. I do remember at one point there is lyrics that say, history repeats itself. You have to remember you're the best around.
Chris has an entire line, guys.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. There wasn't any pluck.
All right.
There wasn't any pluck.
Good
It's all about
job.
Chris, just do me a favor. Just sing it for me. Just a little. Give me a little taste.
History repeats itself. Oh shit! Because it's what? Then it's you guys just gotta remember you're the best. Nobody ever can keep you down.
You're the best around.
Let's just pretend this is
So-
going really well.
James, you got anything other than history repeats itself?
No, and I don't even think I had the second half of the verse.
Something like something you can make it.
Yeah.
Unless history repeats itself, blah blah. Yeah.
Well, don't give him the answer, Chris.
helpers.
I'm helping
Yeah.
me.
helpers.
Fuck you, James.
Okay.
You got to come up with something
Glad I
else.
bravely went first, put my ass on the line like that when I didn't know we had helpers.
Dude, Colin, I sang a completely different song.
Bring it home, James. Knock Chris off the chair.
You're out in the lead and you're kicking some ass because you're taught by Mr. Miyagi. You're 15 years old and you want to get fucked. You know that you can make it. And history repeats itself. You gotta remember you're the best.
Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best.
He was actually a high school
Oh my god.
Because you want to get fucked.
Okay, I hate to break it to you guys. I'm doing the right thing. I'm giving this to Chris. You did have the most real words, and James did kind of crib off your notes. Chris.
So, we're doing a horror thing, right?
Right.
Okay. So, I decided this is what we have to watch. We have to watch
Grabbers.
Oof. Okay.
What is
Grabbers.
like the premise for
Grabbers.
is, and this is literally, I think, in the description of it, a Irish coastal town is attacked by a creature and finds that the only way to defend against it is to drink alcohol.
Oh, awesome. I'm going to get fucking wrecked while we watch this movie.
Yep.
Are you serious with this, Chris?
Yep.
James, you won! Congratulations!
All right.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, no.
I tried.
I know we're gonna give it to Chris and we're gonna watch,
Grabbers.
but you won. It's fair. It's fair. It's just
You sound so happy about it. I, for one, I'm thrilled. I think it's going to
Because,
be a great
I
experience for
haven't
everybody.
watched it yet, and I'm really curious about it. And this kind of seemed like one of those, this feels like the only way I'm going to sucker myself into watching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
By going through it with the camaraderie of friends, so they can hate me later.
okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you were confused by what we were talking about there at the end, next week we are going to be watching
Grabbers.
Alrighty, are we signing off then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But
The chips have come out.
You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. You'll have an equal chance of getting chosen for next week's movie review. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, Jon Hates Movies, or following our Twitter at Jon Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say...
He said, piggity. He said, piggity flip.
Yeah, Daniel, you're the best.
Gotta believe some stuff. Gotta karate somebody in the face. I don't know what other words go, but yeah, this is the place. Trying hard to do some stuff, but you don't know the words. You're singing on a podcast and you're feeling like a turd. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down.
You're out in the lead and you're kicking some ass because you're taught by Mr. Miyagi. You're 15 years old and you want to get fucked. You know that you can make it. And history repeats itself. You gotta remember you're the...
History repeats itself. You have to remember you're the best around.
You're the best. Brother. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best. Brother. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best. Brother. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. To be the best, you gotta pass the test. You gotta climb all the way to the top. To the top of the mountain. 'Cause you're simply the best. You're the best. You're the best. Proud. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best. Proud. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down.